Alright, we got the new 2023 Honda XR150L. This is Dad's new mini moto. He got jealous of me on the Grom, so he had to get himself a mini moto, and this fits him better than a Grom or a Navi. But it'd be fun to try it out today. Bring it home for him, and we'll do some mods to her. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright. First thing is the pegs. The pegs feel super weird. Another thing too is the mirrors. They actually are functional compared to the Grom and the Navi. I actually, no complaints on the mirrors. But yeah, this is 150cc, and it's actually pretty light. It feels maybe a little bit more top heavy than the 450, but it's right around the same weight at like 281 pounds, I believe this is. And it'd be really cool to compare this to the Navi and the Grom, because this bike is right in that budget range of the Honda Grom and the Navi. Yeah, it's pretty fun so far. Okay, maybe it doesn't feel much faster than the Grom. It's got a 5-speed manual transmission, and contrary to some of the things you see online, it does not have a kickstart. But yeah, we're gonna name this bike, since we have the XR150L, and that's got the nickname of the pig, we're gonna call this one Wilbur. And we'll see if you guys drop a comment below if you can figure it out. So far it's pretty cool for a little budget dirt bike that's street legal. Alright, we just got the bike home, and we got it on our Harbor Freight jack. We're gonna start messing with it. We're gonna first do some of the stickers and take off the reflectors, and also do some of the adjustments, like fixing the handlebars and the levers. We're going to be kind of adjusting those to our preference. And then we'll also be doing the pegs. So the pegs are really kind of weird on this bike. They kind of don't sit flush or level. They're kind of angled, flare out like that. So we're going to be diving into that and seeing if we need to grind some off the peg. And we don't have really set what mods we're going to be doing to the bike, but for sure the first thing we're going to do is definitely handlebars. The mirrors are great, but definitely the handlebars are too pinched back and narrow, so we're definitely going to do that. That'd probably be the first mod we're going to do. Then we're going to be removing the reflectors. So for the back, it's going to be a 10 mil wrench. You can just spin it off. I think it looks better without it. And then for the holes for where the reflectors were, we're going to use these automotive trim clips. We have a couple uses for these on the motorcycles. We actually use them for plugging the hole for where the existing mirrors are. When we go to bar-in mirrors on some of the bikes, we'll use these to kind of seal that hole and make it look a lot better. But we're going to be using them today to plug this hole. Yeah, it looks way better.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it works good. It looks good. I'll have a link in the description to these. Alright, now we're going to be removing the front reflectors. And they are a great added safety feature, but if you're going for safe, you can drive a car. I think it looks a lot cooler without them. So we're going to be taking this bracket off. This is what kind of holds the reflectors on, and what connects the two fenders together, kind of supports it. So this bracket here we're going to be removing to grind the reflectors off of the bracket that it's welded to. Alright, so to remove this bracket, we're going to start on the right side and take these two bolts off. Alright, so the plastic, the bolt that connects the bracket to the plastic was a 10 millimeter. And then for this one right here, it is a 8 millimeter. So again, moving over to the left side of the bike, you've got a 10 millimeter and an 8 again. Alright, we got the reflectors off and the whole entire bracket. You can see we did a little mark, just kind of show you where we are going to be grinding. You could take off the weld, but it's just going to be easier. We're just going to cut it right here and then grind it smooth and then repaint it black, and you'll never know the difference. But we're going to be using this Dremel tool with a cutting wheel and see how that goes. Alright, basically all I'm doing now is just taking down any burrs. So just got a little stone, and you can be taking down any burrs that left behind from the cutter. It's like putting makeup on a pig, a baby pig. Alright, we got the bracket back on with the reflectors removed. And Wilbert's looking 10 times better. And then to get the rest of the residue off, I like to use carnauba wax, because the carnauba in the wax actually gets the gunk off fairly well. Alright, and the big power gainer here, yeah, you lose 30 pounds in the front. It'd be a wheelie monster now. So the other decals came off real easy, but the ones on the swing arm are really difficult. So adding a lot of heat really makes it way easier. Alright, so we're going to be removing these two stickers here. There is some good information on them, but they're also, all this information is in the manual, so we're just going to be getting rid of these stickers. But one thing I did want to note is the maximum weight capacity for the bike. It is 311 pounds. So Dad is good to ride this bike. Alright, now we're going to get rid of this factory camber on the foot pegs. 10 millimeter to get the rubber off of the peg. And we thought about cutting just the tip off of the rubber here so it's not so squishy, but we're going to try it with no rubber first. Alright, so like we mentioned earlier, the peg is angled up. It's got that camber. So after looking at it, you can see there's some light behind the peg where there's like extra metal on the peg itself that's preventing it from sitting completely flush. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the peg and look where it's wearing, where the two spots that it's hitting, preventing it from going down all the way. And we're going to sand a little bit off and see if that helps. Yeah, it's hitting right there and right there. Alright, now you can see with Wilbert's dad, the pegs aren't perfectly horizontal. They do have a little bit of camber to them, but just slightly, not near as dramatic as what Wilbur was. But we've done just the shifter side of Wilbert, or the right side, from this angle. Yeah, you can see that the right side's more horizontal and less cambered than the left. But I'll show you how much we took off. But yeah, you can see we took quite a bit off the peg. And then you can see now, I put my hand behind it, there's no light between the peg and the frame here. Alright, so we cleaned up all the metal. We put a little bit of grease on there. Eventually, once there's more options in the market, we probably will upgrade to aftermarket pegs. But as a temporary fix, this works pretty good. That's way better. And then our final mod. For this video on the XR is installing these Canyon Dancer rings. They go on the fork mounts. So behind these bolts, we'll mount one on each side, and it just makes it easier for loading and unloading bikes. All right, well, here's to the initial impressions on our XR150L and some of the first quickie mods that we've done to it. It looks a heck of a lot better. It looks 10 times cooler. And there's a lot of pluses to it. The handlebars, we're definitely still probably going to replace. But if you adjust them far forward, they're not too bad. And then the mirrors are functional. It's like the first bike that we've had that the mirrors are actually functional on. And then with the reflectors gone and the safety decals removed, that has been like the most noticeable difference on this bike compared to bikes past. I think it makes a huge difference on this bike. But it's pretty fun so far. Next video on the bike will be the exhaust mod. Stay tuned for that. Leave a like and subscribe for more XR150 content. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.